going to introduce the idea of problem solving to a mixed ability class using differentiated learning.
It's called the circle and dots. Some of you might have known it. It's a fairly popular one. If you place dots around the circumference of a circle and then join each dot by a straight line, is there a relationship, not a solution, not a formula, a relationship between the number of dots and the maximum number of non-overlapping regions produced?
Problem solving is a major issue in maths, not just in Ireland but across the world, and I feel that there's a lack of structure in how to approach a problem as opposed to how to do a problem. Lots of kids can do a problem because they see a formula, they slot it in, but when they get stuck, they don't have any mechanisms themselves to kind of get around the problem. So I'm trying to see, is there a way of showing them a kind of a structured way to get around the problem by following steps.
This is why this is a great little task. Ask them about 6 dots. Watch out for signs that someone has spotted but won't say it, that 6 dots doesn't follow the pattern of 2 to the power of n minus 1. All the others are grand. 7, 8, you're all happy days, but 6 doesn't. Tease that out. What happened to 6? If one fella spots it and said, and this did happen, one fella did spot, and I think it's on one of the sheets I've given you, he has 6 down as being 30 instead of 32, which is what it would be if it was 2 to the power of n minus 1. Why? Why didn't you say it? But I did. And your group, why didn't they? Well, the other group got 32, so we must have made a mistake. If the whole consensus of the groups are saying, oh, Jesus, 2 to the power of n minus 1, it's 2 to the power of, your man got it on table 1. But I got 30. No, it's 2 to the power of n minus 1. It has to be 32. You missed. That will happen. It's unbelievable, but it's like Chinese whispers. They'll all come to believe the same thing, even though it's totally wrong.
That was something I noticed straight away that they were doing. They were doing it for a couple of small examples to show it works, and then they were assuming that's it, it's amazing, I fixed it. Whereas at the end, once they realise that maybe there's more options there, maybe they need to prove it for other versions of the same scenario, that they came to the realisation that you can't actually prove something by one example. You need to actually prove it for all examples. And if you get one exception, it breaks the rule.
What happened here was, and I said it before, it was like Emperor's New Clothes. When one fella figured it out, that 6 was a problem to the whole pattern, he was shouted down by everyone else, by all the other groups, because they were sure it was 2 to the n minus 1. So he's not going to rock the boat and be the one to put the head over the parapet and get shot. No, he's going to keep his head down.
The major thing I'd like teachers to carry back from this would be that if they approach problem solving without actually using the word problem, because if the student sees the word problem, their backs are up straight away. Coming out of the word, we're going to explore a relationship, we're going to look at a scenario, we're going to see what's happening on this field, in this room. Just avoid the negative words that they've been associated with. Oh, it's a problem, that's the fella who's getting an A, he needs to do that sum, not me.
You know what it is about Irish students? They learn off an English essay for their exam, and if the question doesn't come up the way they want in the English essay, they still twist it around. You learn off an essay about winning the lotto, and the question comes up, my mother died. My mother died yesterday, and then I won the lotto, and then he's going to talk about the lotto. You know, but it's the exact same in maths. It is the exact same in maths. They will convince themselves of an answer and then squeeze the whole thing down into that answer.
I thought it was very interesting the way he approached his problem solving, in that it was very student-centred, that he didn't push his voice into the class and it allowed them to their own devices. I think as teachers we always have this sort of thing where we're almost unsure as to whether or not we can step back, and we're always almost guiding them or pushing them or prodding them, and sometimes they don't actually need that. Sometimes they just need time to think, to challenge themselves and to reflect on what they've done.